I mean, I think if you give it enough time, right? Like first they were doing day and date, right? The further away we get from this, the further that window to VOD is going to get. Like it's 45 days. Couple of maybe next year it's 90 days, 3 months. Or maybe not that drastically,
60
maybe
days.
it's 60 days.
Yeah.
Then it's back to 90 days. Given enough time, I think everything is going to shake itself out. Like that person that you, using the example of the person that you saw on Twitter who was upset that they're not releasing a day and date because, like, yo, it's a big movie, yo.
They lose a lot of money doing day and date, dude. They do. There's a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a huge movie. The huge movies are going to be the ones that first are not going to come to streaming first. Like they're just not. Like they're not. And those are the ones where the window is going to just quietly disappear, right?
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily upset with that. I get it. I think it would behoove everybody for the mid-range movie, the $100 million and below movie, to either have a shorter window or to drop day and date. Because if the mid-range movie, like that's all you hear about, right? It's either the gigantic franchise movies that cost $300 million to make, and gross $1 billion or whatever, like weird math we're doing now, or it's the super indie projects that catch fire, right? But you don't hear about like just little regular movies anymore. Like regular mid-range movies, if they were to stay at the 45-day window, I think that would help everybody, right? The people who have nothing to do will go see that mid-range movie, but the people who like, oh, that seems like a movie that I would watch, but I don't want to go out to see it. Oh, well, it's right here. I can just order it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
the Spider-Mans, you're going to go out to see, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
They said Spider-Man only in theaters last year, and we were like, COVID is only in theaters. You're only going to see Spider-Man in theaters. And what we all do, we all went to the theater to see it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. As
So,
Omicron
the
was like
mid-range movie?
taking off, and people were like, I'm going to risk it. Yeah, I'm gonna risk it.
Right.
I'm gonna risk it.
Right.
I'm going at 11 a.m.
Most of it.
I'm going 11 a.m. Look,
Right. That's what we did. We saw at 11 a.m. gas masks and
Yeah, you goddamn right.
Yeah, all that.
We
shit.
thought we were gonna be slick too. We were like, nobody gonna be there. That theater was crowded as fuck. We're like, God damn it. Jeez, it's 11.
Everyone's got the same idea.
Yeah, everyone
God
was
damn it.
like, we going at 11. No one will be there. Like, it turns out everyone is going at 11. But incidentally, like, speaking of Spider-Man, No Way Home is now threatening to take the top move into I think the fourth place or the third place for top domestic box office from Avatar. Like, that's how well it did. And people were like, well,
I thought Avatar was number one. Or
no,
is it Titanic
not
that's
for domestic. Just domestic. Because Avatar made all of it like big, huge money in China. That's where it made a ton of money, and overseas. But domestically, I think it's like third, or it's fourth or third, one of the two. But yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home is on the verge of taking over that. So, I mean, some people seem to think that it's only doing that well because people are super starved for something, which I think is a valid argument. But it's also Spider-Man, dude, and it has 3 Spider-Men in it, and we would never get that. So I think that has a lot to do with it. So, like, people were super starved for a lot of things. Like, they ain't rush out to see Shang-Chi like that. Like, no. Like, it's like it just being a Marvel
you're
movie.
right. It's number 4, creeping up on Avatar. You know what number 1 is
For domestic?
for all time domestic? box
Isn't it
office?
Star Wars? It's like Force Awakens?
It's Star Wars Episode 7. Like, it's the Force Awakens. Joe.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that
like,
did super well, but I wouldn't have thought it was number one for domestic. But yeah, it was.
Damn.
Wow.
So yeah, it's coming for that Avatar money, dude. Like, and I think I think No Way Home is like.
vibe? What's
Go
the
ahead.
what's the vibe like in Canada? Like, are people like going to? I can't imagine people are going to movies in droves there because you guys are a lot more responsible. I feel like Canadians are a lot more responsible than Americans.
I think that there's people at opposite ends of the spectrum in any society. Yeah, I know that I have friends that are avid moviegoers, and in the last 2 years have been very selective. Have gone to one, maybe two movies. But my situation is that I have two people very close in my life that have immunocompromised basically immuno issues. So our bubble is really small, and we're very aware of the risks that we take, and we've minimized it. So I would love to get back to the movies, but much like we were discussing on the last episode I was on, I'm okay with waiting the 45 days.
Right.
I would be okay waiting the 60 days if it means that I'm not going to expose myself, and especially for entertainment. I mean, no matter how good the movie is, it's still just a form of, to get me out in a crowded public setting, it's going to have to be damn enticing. It's going to have to be really good. It's going to have to be better than flashing lights and big noise. A lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And that's the point, right? Like, if you're having a window of 45 days, like, that's not bad, dude. That's less than 2 months. Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, by
and
the
if
time
it's available to rent on one of the streaming platforms, well, shit, we haven't gone out on a date night in forever. So here, shut up and take my money. I'll pay the $25 and we'll enjoy this.
Sometimes not even that much, right? Like, if it's one of these like mid-range movies, you might be able to catch it when it goes on for rent, like $11-12, right? In the US at least. So that's not bad, right? For the big ones, it's generally $19.99. So to me, I think that's a much better perspective from the movie companies to say, all right, cool, you can't see it. We get it. We understand you don't want to risk it. You don't want to go to these big crowded showings. I totally understand that. 45 days is not that bad, man. And I feel like people who are complaining about having to wait 45 days, but still wanting to see it, are mostly they just want to be in the fucking zeitgeist of like when people are talking about it. It's like, all right, well, cool, then risk it. Well, I don't want to risk it. All right, well, then you're not in the zeitgeist. It's all right. Like, trust me, when the 45 days hits, there's going to be a second bit of zeitgeist of people talking about it then. Like, it is what it is. Like, I've seen that with Eternals, right? A lot of people didn't go to the theater to see it. And then you see all of this new conversation about Eternals as everyone is seeing it because it hit Disney Plus. It's fine. Like, you'll just join the second wave. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I don't think certain things are worth the risk. Like, I'm not going to go see just about anything. Like, there is a press only screening for a movie that's coming up. Does it look stupid? Yeah. Do I really want to see it? Yes. Is it about a false moon? Yes. I'm going to see that screening. Absolutely. But if it's a super crowded theater, I'm not seeing it. Like, I can definitely wait the 45 days to find out what's inside the moon. That's an alien.
Don't go see Moonfall.
No, I'm going to see it.
Don't go see Moonfall. God damn it.
Oh, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to see it. Come on. Who doesn't want to see Moonfall? It looks stupid as hell.